All right, so we're going to start taking this BSA apart. So welcome back to another episode where we're going to start to work on this 66 BSA that I have here. As I said in my introduction video, basically it's going to need a top end. So we're going to get started tearing this apart so I can take the cylinders to the machine shop. We're going to take the seat, the tank, the exhaust, and the carburetors off to get started. So we'll start with the seat. Seat bolts up from the bottom, from underneath here. Got my Whitworth sockets here. One bolt. Oh, they didn't even put a bolt on the side. Well, they did. Whoever restored it didn't. So it should now slide back. Yep. Slide back and come off. All right. There we go. Put this over here for safekeeping now. So we're going to want to fix that, figure out why that wasn't bolted in. That should be bolted in. So we'll worry about that when we go to put it back together again. I guess next we'll deal with getting these exhausts off. So this here exhaust has a cross piece to help hold everything in place. Then you got your rosette, which clamps it around the stub. There's a bracket down here, comes back, and then the bracket that's basically bolted to the foot peg. All right, so we're gonna take all this off, try to hopefully get this exhaust off without too much issues, and then we'll be good to go from there. See how much of this see how much of this is still correct. Now that is. There's that one. So there's the cross pieces out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these bolts just right back in the exhaust so I can remember where they went and they don't get lost. It's always easiest if you can put it right back where it went. That way you'll know where it is and where it goes. Okay. Loosen up these rosettes here. It's got Phillips. I kind of already pre-loosened them before I started shooting just in case. All right. These I did not. that one off. This also pre-loosened. Just help speed things up a little bit if I can. Now, we should be able to, hopefully, I may end up just taking this muffler off to help make my life a little bit easier. I think that is what I will do. That's Allen. Sorry guys, I was hoping I could take it all off in one big piece, but sometimes those head pipes can get kind of stuck inside those heads. I hate having to disassemble the muffler because right now everything is lined up exactly the way it should be. They're not, apparently those are American. All right, sorry about that. I didn't want to waste a lot of time trying to figure out how to get that exhaust off with you guys sitting there just watching. What I ended up doing is I did get it all off in one piece. I just used my rubber mallet and I gently tapped on the header and it worked its way right out so I could take everything off in one piece like I originally wanted to anyway. So that's off, which is good. So let's go ahead and take these carburetors off. I already undid my fuel line. I loosened up my nuts here for the carburetor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side with you guys, and then I'll do another side. I'll do the other side off camera. You'll need to watch me do the same thing twice. There's two nuts here, actually nylocks. I don't know if that's standard, could have been. You'll find when you work on bikes like this old, people have done things over the years and they may or may not always be correct. But, so here's a perfect example. These screws here are the posi drives. Here's the posi drive screwdriver. I'm not sure you're really going to be able to see it. But basically, there's an extra tab in between, kind of like the spokes of the Phillips, and then there's matching slots inside the screws where they fit, and they actually work really well. They tend not to cam out like a regular Phillips does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the cap off. I'm going to leave as much connected as I can. So I'm going to leave the throttle cables and slides connected. I'm just going to take the carburetors off, carburetor bodies off. I'll probably go through these and clean them out and rebuild them anyway. 'Cause I don't know how long they've been sitting. So we can just let these hang here. And you can see they use a hose that goes in between the two so they can be fed from. There's a petcock on both sides. One is your main petcock and one is your reserve. I'm not sure which is which on the BSA. I have to look in the book. Take this isolator off so we don't lose it. There's also a gasket, so I'll probably replenish all this kind of stuff. Point putting it back together with old gaskets. There's also an O-ring that goes into the carburetor. There's a slot in the carburetor for the O-ring. So off camera, I'm going to bag all this stuff and put it away. So that's that. So I'm going to get to the other side. I'm going to take the muffler, the exhaust, and the carburetor off that side, and I'll bring you guys back when I have that done. Okay, I'm back. So now I got everything off. Last thing really to take off here is the tank. The way this is done is you have this BSA rubber grommet thing. Take that off. And underneath here is a little nut. There's a little nut that holds the tank on. Now this should pick up off. Like that. Put this somewhere for safekeeping. All right, sorry about that, guys. Battery ran out on me again. These batteries don't last very long. But anyway, so their tank is off. You can see how they did this. They have a kind of like a carriage bolt. It's got a square so it won't turn. It goes inside of here. Tank fits down over it, and that's all that holds the tank down. I think there are supposed to be some rubber things here, which clearly are missing. So we'll have to get those. But there we go. So that's our start for taking this apart. Now then next time we'll start diving and taking off this is the rocker box. Then you got the head, and then you got your cylinders. So all this will have to come off. So there's an oil line here we'll have to take off. But all that will be on the next episode. So until then, again, get out in the garage and work on something.